Okay, so this is a training for the web design for the Electron CMS, and please ask questions. Okay, I'm gonna run through it kind of like I'm gonna create a page, and then I'm gonna create a little piece of content, and then I'm gonna show you a couple of little widgets that you might find useful. So you're actually getting bonus material here in less than an hour, 30 minutes, however long it takes. So anyway, the first thing you want to do, and of course we're talking about in this particular example, we're gonna utilize the Pleasanton site. And so the first thing that has to happen is you want to make sure that you have rights to change that page. And so that's the first thing you do is ask myself or Ryan or Erica at the IT department for rights and so on. So, but this is what I want to show y'all, the login page first of all. And then we'll give you the username and the password. And um, Lacey, Rosalinda, you would have your username, your password to get in. And then based on, permissions and all, you can get into some of these content. So our link is over at IT at coastalbend.edu/IT. And we kind of have it hidden down here somewhere. You might want to bookmark it at some point, but you're going to see the CBC Web CMS. It's really buried in there. But at some point, you can highlight that. It's coastalbend.edu/CMS login.aspx. Whatever. It's just like logging into Facebook, right? Maybe not as pretty, but there it is. So again, that's what I do. I just remember coastalbend.edu/CMS login.aspx, and then you log in with a given username and password, which we'll give to you. And at the completion of this training, Ryan will just set you up as a user if you're not already, okay? We can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. All right, so really, really simple. I'm going to show y'all something here real quick. The first thing I want to do, and I'm going to start a new tab in Google Chrome, by the way. Google Chrome is the browser that I feel works best with Electron and the CMS, okay? Some like Firefox, but I'll tell you right now, there's a little glitch in the Firefox because you're going to like panic because there's a part in there where your files look like they've disappeared. With the Internet Explorer, it's Internet Explorer. It has flaws. Sometimes it just doesn't show you what you're supposed to see. So Google Chrome for this one, just letting you know. Now, when people view your web page, it doesn't matter. They can view it however they want. Safari, you name it. But for the editing of it, you want to go to Google Chrome. So like if I go to CBC, so and let's just go straight to Pleasanton. So the first thing I want to demonstrate real quick, and what I would suggest is once you have your username and login, maybe you can have this running, and then you can go to try to have two monitors going, and you can be working on this. So the first thing I want to share with you is that I want to show you how to create a page layout. So the first thing I'm going to show you real quick is I have to go to my work area. This is what it looks like. This is the geeky look. It looks all nasty, not very pretty looking. Okay, but this y'all aren't gonna see all this stuff. I will. Okay, but y'all aren't gonna see all this. But what you're gonna do is up here at the top right, you're gonna go to content. And then over on the left, there's a folder with two subfolders. This is the key right here. And let me add this too. I'm showing y'all a couple of steps, and then you're gonna be like, okay, that's not hard. I'm actually showing you the hard stuff now because I'm actually showing you the back end. A lot of people don't like structure. They don't like the folder structure. That's the geeky look, but I'm gonna show it to you at least one time. All right, so like I'm gonna go create a page. So wouldn't it make sense that you open up the pages folder? Then you have to find where you live, which would be under campuses and Pleasanton for this example. There it is. And y'all, for now, I'm not going to worry about those folders underneath. Some of those probably can be deleted. They're still there. They're easy to delete. You right click and delete them. If you don't have a right to do that, y'all can send me a little quick email and say, Amador, those are bothering me. If they don't bother you, then leave them alone. But if they're bugging you, and I can, but what I would suggest certainly is that you look through those folders to see if there's anything in there that's still being used. I don't know. So they don't just disappear. So I'll talk more about that. Y'all just call me on that. But ignore them for now. Just pretend they're not there. So You're in the pages folder inside campuses inside Pleasanton. Now keep in mind, Rosalinda, for example, you're an advisor, so there could be a point in here where somebody says it would be Dean Gonzalez, for example, right? You might say, hey, Rosalinda, I want you to have rights to change this other page. So you would send me an email saying that she suggested that you have rights to other areas. So you could have rights to multiple areas. Okay, so because you might have several hats. Okay, so but I'm gonna stay in Pleasanton. So I'm gonna do new, and I'm just gonna simply go to new page layout. I'm just gonna create a page. It's called a page layout. It's all I'm gonna do. The easiest thing you'll do in Electron is create a page layout because all it is, watch what it is. It's simply creating the layout. And notice the one that's selected is the one that's with the left column and the main column. And if you notice the page I showed you with Pleasanton, and most of our pages are using that layout, just to be honest with you. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, leave that alone, hit next. Okay, so I'm going to just do Pleasanton test. Just because I don't want to call it Pleasanton because there's already one called Pleasanton, right? There's already a coastalbend.edu/Pleasanton. I can't use that. Look at this. This is real cool right here. This is the alias. By default, it calls it Pleasanton_test. Okay, which I don't like the underscore. So I'm just going to call it. I'm just going to call it test for today. All right. Now, if there's already an alias called test, then I'll have to call it something else. But think about this, y'all. There's an event coming up, and you're going to go build a little page layout, and you want to call it coastalbend.edu/science fair. As long as that alias isn't taken up, you could call it whatever you want. And what's so cool about it is you put it on your flyers that way, right? Because that's how you can remember things like coastalbend.edu/IT. Come on, that one's easy, right? You don't have to go all over the place. You just go /IT. All right. So I don't know if there's a test or not. There probably is, but we'll see next. Yep, there's already one with test. So we'll just call it PL test. I'll erase it later. But remember PL test. I'm just calling it that. I'm going to hit next. The title is what shows up on your title bar when you're in your browser for your audience. So I'll just call this again Pleasanton test. It's not important, but you would need to put a title. That's important because if somebody bookmarks you, student services, okay, you would want it to be bookmarked. You don't want to just put junk there. You got to put something that's going to be descriptive, and I'm going to hit finish. That's it. I just create a page layout. That's all I did. This is what it is. It wants to know now, do you want to go begin editing? I'll say, okay. So you get a page that looks like this because I chose a 2-column layout, okay? So now it's your job to start populating it. And so now what I want to do, and I'm going to show you a few little extra things that I probably didn't show the very first time I trained, and that is, just kind of follow along with me here. You can picture the layout, right? The way I always describe this, it's like the living room, and there's no furniture in it yet. The furniture will be the content that we drop in there. So what I want to do, I'm going to show y'all something here real quick. I'm going to add a column here, and I'll explain why. So I'm going to add this column. It's not a, so now I have 2 columns right here, okay? And then I have another column over here. I'm going to use these 3 columns. Ignore the one down here. That's in case we want to put more stuff later. All right. So right here immediately, because you have rights to this page, you'll have what is called a widget bar. The most popular widget bar is the one that is called, this one right here, get used to it. It's the content block. You're going to use it 95% of the time, 99% of the time. Some use it 100% of the time, and they don't ever look at the other widgets because we don't have time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this one twice. I'm going to put one here. You'll see why. And I'm going to bring it back. It collapses. And for some reason, when you use a widget, it moves it all the way to the left side. The first time you use it, it's right here, but I found it. I'm going to put one right here. All right, so remember what I just did. I stuck the little widget called content block into 2 places right there. Now, if you're a planner, you're going to go like this. You're going to say, you know what? I want this to extend here. Don't ever extend it too far because then it looks weird. You should always have margins. Let me explain what I mean by that. Now, why I made a second column here, I'm already planning ahead, y'all. I've done this a lot, so I kind of know. The first time I did it, I'm going to get another little widget called CBC Spacer.
And what it does right here, you'll see what it does later. You drop it here. I put it there all the time. That way, this is going to give me flexibility for margins. You see? And so what you do is if I didn't have this in here, all this content later on, it's going to run too close. Because over here, I'm going to put some stuff in, and it's going to run too close to it. So it's like a newspaper. It's like margin. So I have myself just a little spacer ready to go. I have a content block in the left column and a content block on the right column. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start putting content in. That's it so far. That's all I've done, right? I logged in, I went to my work area, and I went and created a page layout, and I have myself ready to go. I now need to put 2 pieces of content in there, whatever that is. And content would be obviously your substance, right? Whatever you want to put in your page. It could be a picture, it could be a YouTube video, it could be text. Obviously, text is the most popular still, right? Even though the generation we serve is very video driven and graphic driven, there's still got to be some reading material. I don't know if you've seen a page where it's all pictures. I mean, that's cute, but I mean, you got to have some text. Does that make sense so far, what I've done there? Now, what I want to do is I'm going to leave it alone for a little bit. I'm going to go back to my login tab, and I'm going to go back to my work area. And it may have already been open, but whatever. If you minimized it, it's up to you because it's a toggle. Okay, I'm going to go back to my content. So do you remember that the only thing I did, I went into pages to create that page layout, right? Okay, guess what I'm going to do now? I'm not going to open up pages because I'll get confused. I'm going to open up content. I'm going to go to campuses, and you also have a folder called Pleasanton. Ignore the subfolders for now. So what do you think is in the Pleasanton content folder? Content. And there's obviously content there already. Don't worry about all that content. Don't worry about it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create new content. So the same way you did new page layout when you were in the pages section is the same way that you're going to create new content in the content folder, okay? And what I mean by content, y'all, like I said, is text, graphics, video, anything you want to put in there that's substance. So I'm going to do HTML content. So now, I don't know, Lacey, give me an example of content. What do you want to put on a page? This is a piece of, this is just a piece of information that you might want to put on a website. Okay, I'll talk about links in just a little bit, but that's good thinking. Um, if this is going to be on a page, I don't know. I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be. Obviously, I'm using it as a demonstration, so I'm going to go ahead and just put Pleasanton. But that's good thinking though, because you're already thinking ahead to hyperlinks, and I'll get to that next. So we got Pleasanton. Again, I'm just going to call it test content. How's that? And because I want to be lazy, and this is just a demonstration, I'm gonna probably go leave it like that for a little bit, and I am going to go over here and take some content and copy paste it if that's all right with you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I I want to point something out though that this becomes important later because I'm gonna show you later that never copy paste. And let me give an example. If you're in like, oh, the testing page looks good, but I want to copy and just paste this. But what happens is the minute they change theirs, yours will not change. So I'm going to show you in a little bit is how to link to content that is already there that you don't have to change every 5 minutes. I'll show you that in a little bit. So I'm going to copy this, and since I'm recording this, I'm going to do right-click copy so you can see my steps. Now I'm going to come back to my Alt tab. And I'm going to just paste it right here by doing right-click paste. It wants to use Control V. All right, whatever. Control V. There you have it. Okay, so I have myself content. This is where you would go and type your content. Put a picture in. I don't know. Let's put a picture in somewhere. So we're going to put a picture. So we're going to put a picture in right here, just as an example. Because keep in mind, y'all, that this is I'm going to click right here, and this is right there, the library. And I can go get a picture
And these are pictures that are already in this particular folder. Oh, here's a cougar. Now, obviously, you're not going to necessarily use the pictures that are already in that folder, right? So I want to just point out that you could actually go and get add library and go find something off your computer. Okay? That would make sense, right? Go get your photos. But I'm going to go ahead and just grab this cougar. And other things you can do if you want, it's up to you. But obviously, let's just boldface. Y'all are familiar with the whole thing with bold, italic, underline, you name it. It's got all those editing features. So we're done with that. So now what I want to do is, like I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and see up here. It's okay. I got to explain this to you. There's a save button, and you're gonna want to go to save, and that's good. You want to save it, and then there's the check in, which is like if Lacey and Rosalinda have access to this folder, there's a chance that you may have it checked out, Rosalinda, and Lacey may be like, excuse me, but she won't be able to edit it if you have it checked out, like a library book. So it's important that you save and you check in. Me personally, I don't ever hit these two buttons. I just say publish. Publish is the first button. Publish implies that you saved your content. You checked it in case there's other people that have rights to that folder or that piece of content. And it's going to be live on the web. Okay, so I'm usually, I made the change. I want it to be live on the web. There's a possibility that you could say, well, you know what? I want to save it and check it in, but I don't want to publish it because maybe I want Rosalinda to look at it first. You see what I'm saying? So there is that possibility. So but I'm gonna go ahead and publish this. So what I have done thus far is I created a page and I created a piece of content. Y'all with me so far? It was simple. All I had to do is go into either the page folder and the content folder. So if I wanted to, could I go create some more content? As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and do it now, and I'll show you what I want to do. I'm going to click back on Pleasanton. Now, Lacey, I'm going to create a new piece of content. Let me explain this piece of content. Every department should have it. Those are your hyperlinks. Okay, this would be your Pleasanton, and again, it's a test, but I'm going to call them links. So this is where I'll go right here. I usually center it, and every department, every site should have a home button. I'm just making these up right now. Let's suppose that you wanted a link to IT services. You want a link to, give me another one. You're linking away. Just, you could do, the library. Well, I was going to put library, but, I don't know, athletics. Obviously, this is not one you're going to use. This is just an example. We could go straight to cosmetology, and that one that's a perfect example. And then nursing. Let's just go with that. Now, me again, my personal opinion is I'll take these, and I don't know this. I usually set this to about 11. You play around with it, what size you want. You don't really want to go too unprofessional and use a huge font that doesn't even fit. So use your judgment on that. Okay, so those are just dead links, though, right? So let me show you how to do a hyperlink real quick. So home is kind of silly because home is taking you to the same place that you're at right now, right? Which I think I called it PL test. That was my page called PL test. Remember that. So you see, so I can go right here and I can create a hyperlink. The hyperlink button is right there. It looks like a little globe. It says hyperlink manager. Now, show you a little trick here. If I know that that page was called PL test, I can put /PL test / simple. Okay. I know that IT services is probably what? Remember I said it was coastalbend.edu/IT, right? So I technically could just go /IT/. That's how easy it is. I know athletics is /athletics. These are easy, but I'm going to show you one where I don't know what it is. /athletics/ click OK. Okay, so I don't know cosmetology. I can't just assume, well, it's /cosm. I don't know what they called it. So one thing you can do, and I think it was Erica's great idea, is I'll go to find out where they're at first. I think they're under professional services, right? And is there a link going to nursing? Or you find the close? Nope, it's not. It's public services, I think. I don't know. They keep changing. So I'm not sure. So, oh, there's a link right here. We can go as far as we can. Let's go to cosmetology. Hey, there we are. All right. Having known that, guess what? It was slash cosmetology, right? You see it up there? But I didn't know that. So you could technically just copy this. You could just copy that if you wanted to, and now if I hyperlink it, you could put slash cosmetology slash, or you could put the entire URL. It's up to you. Okay? So I'll click OK. Nursing, I know it's slash nursing, but I'm going to show you one more way to get to it. All right, here's nursing. I know it's slash nursing slash, or I could put coastalbend.edu slash nursing, right? Whatever. But let's suppose that you don't want to do it that way. You could actually ... You could go to find them this way, but it takes a long time. You go to pages, right? You have to go to pages, and you go to, you have to know where they're at, and I know where they're at, so it's easy for me to find them. But, and nursing is under what? Oh, here's right here. And then you have to make sure this is set to quick links. And there's right there. It has to be that. Double click. Sure enough, look what it brings back. Slash nursing slash. So I think that's not the best method to use. You kind of need to know where the page is. So we're done there. So we've got hyperlinking going. So now I'm going to publish this. So now, if you think about it, I still have one page layout called PL test, right? coastalbend.edu slash PL test. I made myself 2 pieces of content, right? I just did new HTML content. That's all I've got. So now what I want to do, remember I left this running. You can minimize this or close it. It's a toggle, whatever. Remember I left this going? So I want to put one of the pieces of content right here. And we do that with a little editor pencil. And you go find your piece of content. And you might find this frustrating, but you have to go to your place. You got to go to your home, which is wherever you have rights to. And here's Pleasanton. And somewhere here, there'll be a PL test. I have a lot of pages here, so I'm going to go to page 3. Y'all find it before I do. What did I call it? Oh, you saw links, but what did I call the other one? Oh, there it is. Okay. I wanted the content there, and there it is, right? And then I'm going to go and get this, and then I'll go get that other piece of content called, again, this is frustrating because you have to go to each place. The cool thing about it is at least it's nearby campuses. It's not, some of the departments have to really drill in. So here's Pleasanton, and it was on the, again, it was on the second page or third page or something. Yeah, there it is. Test links right there. Double click. Right? And I'm going to now then, just like you published your piece of content, you have to publish your page. And you go to File, Publish. And guess what? It had a save, a check-in, and a publish. But me personally, I just avoid the save and the check-in. I go straight to publish, which implies that you saved it. It implies that you checked it in, and it implies that it's live on the web. Now, do y'all see where the spacer helps out a little bit? If the spacer wasn't there, that main column would be flushed up against those links, and it would look ugly. We have a web page. I mean, this is a brief intro to a web page, but we have ourselves a web page, right? One more thing. This was really from 3 to 4, I think, but I needed to get to another one by 3:30, so it's 3:08. What if I did this? I'm going to do file edit, okay? Okay. Here, and this is so important right here. I'm gonna drop another little content block widget somewhere. Just because I'm just gonna put it right there. No big deal. Okay. Here's the deal. You're like, you know what? I really like some of those testing policies to be on my page.
And Roberta already set them up. Why would I reinvent the wheel? Here's what not to do. Don't go to her page and copy. And it's not so much the cheating part, which that's a big part. It's the fact that if I go copy hers and put it onto mine, tonight she changes it, it's wrong on yours. It's legal and perfectly okay to just link to hers. And I don't know what I'm going to get, but let's find it. Hit the little pencil. So what I'm telling you is you have every right to link to anybody's content. Think about it. That's the one. That's why you have this freedom. Content. I don't know where she is. I would think she's under student services, or I'll find something. Student services, and probably Rosalinda, you'll find stuff in there. Um, testing, or maybe it's under hey, testing department. Here it is. Let me click on testing department. What do you have there? Testing info. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna double click on it. So I ended up taking, which is probably doesn't look very pretty right there. That looks ugly. But you got to know what you're doing. You got to know that you're moving a love seat into an area that fits the love seat, right? You have to know that you move stuff and furniture in, and that's what it looks like. Probably not what I would want, but do you see what I did there? But here's the catch. When you guys are doing this, um, you can do that and you can bring anybody's content in, but you can't change it. You're not going to get to go to the work area and go to content and go change her stuff because you don't have permission. Unless, for some reason the dean says, give Rosalinda rights to change that. So again, I'm going to clean this. I'm going to take that out. Okay. So that's important. Now, finally, I'm done with this. So I'm going to go ahead and say, but that's important. I need y'all to understand that part, that take anybody's content, put it on your page. You just can't change it. And you're at the mercy of them because what if they're not good with updating their site? Mm-hmm. Yes. That the only reason I added the column is I was thinking ahead, and I've seen some people and they don't have a spacer. And in Yammer, I added a little Cbc Spacer just to show you how to do that spacer. It was just I added the column for the spacer purpose. Yeah, that was it. Now you could add another column for more content. There's nothing that says that you can't have this column be like this wide and have another column with another content block right there. You could do that. Now, lastly, how do you edit your stuff that's already existing? So technically, I'm going to go ahead and do something here that I only went to the work area to show you how to build a page layout, how to build two pieces of content. From now on, if you really, really wanted to, you don't have to go to the work area. You simply log in to your CMS, you go to the page, and you get this little gray box, and there's edit. If you don't get edit, you call me, Amador, I don't have edit, which means I didn't give you permission. Okay? So if you go to any other page, you'll see the little gray box when you're logged in, but you won't get edit. And by the way, there's edit in context. Edit is the best one. Look what edit does. Guess what? It brings back that work. It brings back that the editor. And I hate this little thing here. I'm sorry, all these little spaces, but I usually turn it off. This little hide and show elements, it looks ugly. And you can add more stuff, put a picture there or whatever. Do you see why I put the navigation on the left side? It's kind of like you don't have to. I mean, you could. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. What was determined was that I know that I had spoken with another individual and she gave me some ideas, and I'll get with y'all probably next week. I'm going to probably, it was in Kingsville. Great ideas. I'm going to customize that. So before y'all touch this, y'all can play around with it. But I may, she said, well, what are some things we would want on that main page in Pleasanton? If you do something else in student services, that's probably something different, right? Whole different layout. So I'm going to make those adjustments and then get back to y'all. But as soon as we leave here, I don't know if we've given them rights already, Ryan, but I'm going to go ahead and give y'all both rights to the Pleasanton folder in content and in pages. And then what we'll do is y'all mess around with it, do whatever you want. You're not going to break it. I mean, but one more thing I'll show y'all real quick. I like this because somebody asked me, how do I go? You have to file edit, by the way. I'll show y'all one more widget. You have to do file edit to get to the widgets, right? There's a little widget called Embed HTML. I made a little Yammer video yesterday, so I'm doing it again. Okay, go away. That thing is, there it is.
It's called, it's black and it's got the little, and I'm just going to put it right here. Okay, just going to put it right there. Because after all, you can put it anywhere later. It's a little widget. It's for Embed HTML. Now, have y'all ever been, I know you've been to YouTube, and we have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/Coastal Bend College if you want to get there quickly. And let's just go to a video. Okay, let's just go to a graduation video. There it is. Okay, y'all all have been to, say, some of these social media sites, and you always have a little share button. And mostly for me, it's Facebook. But you can share on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you name it, right? Okay, so you hit Facebook, yay, let's share it. There's a little button called Embed, and you get some code right below it. I'm going to show more. Okay, now by default, it's showing you some code based on a 560 by 315. What do you call it? I'm going to put custom size. I'm going to put 720 because that's the number I like. When I do that, the code up here changes, and I'm just going to show you that code in Notepad real quick, y'all. Okay, it's a little bit tiny there. Let's see, font. Let me increase it. But what I want to share with y'all is that you can go to a lot of sites that offer you code. If you go back to MySpace, if you can remember MySpace, they would give you source code, and you could take that code and embed it into your page, and it's like you were a genius, right? Well, this code right here is saying I want to stick an inline frame inside your page, and it's a YouTube video that doesn't have to be yours, right? The content at CBC, you use it all you want. You just can't change some of it, right? You're not going to change the video. So look what I can do. That code that I think I copied it. Let me make sure I copied it. So I have, excuse me, right here. So I'm going to take and put this, hit the little pencil. You always have to hit the little pencil, right? And I'm going to Control V or right click paste the code in there. And then I hit save. There's your video. So now I'm going to go up here and file, publish. And so anywhere in the world right now, if we go to coastalbend.edu/PL test, like Ryan, bring it up on your rebooting, bring it up on yours, you're going to see it on Ryan's because obviously it's published. So this is what our page looks like right now. Now, I'm not telling you that I'm in train you necessarily. I did the technical, but that would probably be a poor design because you don't necessarily want the video up at the top. I don't know. But there it is. And you would just play it inside your page. So that basically is the training.
How do you edit the current page?
The current page, like you're going to get permission to that page.
Okay.
And I'll have Ryan give you all rights to that. Before you step out, just I have your emails. And we'll probably just give you generic logins, or if you want to email me your password, and then we'll set it up if you want to. We'll do that. So what'll happen on that, Lacey, is you'll go here, and you'll go to Pleasanton. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're logged in as a CBC user, you're going to see the little access points. You're going to see them everywhere. Those are content blocks. But you won't always see edit, right? You'll see there will be choices, but they're not worth anything. But okay, so those are your content blocks. Now here's some things that I need to warn you about. A lot of people, how many page layouts do you really need? Technically, one. Your house can have one room if you wanted to, right? But it's kind of important to break them up. So a lot of people will do this. Like a faculty member might go in and say, you know what, I just need one page layout / Jones. And they'll put just a lot of content on that page, and they have a page that's like a mile long. And you know what I'm saying? It's up to you, but you know, you sure can. Some thoughts on when I was in Kingsville with Amanda Barrera, and that is, and I want to throw them in there, and then I'll get y'all's feedback. But to put like maybe our programs of study, links directly to an instructor, whatever the case might be. But with that comes commitment from, I guess, you two in deciding how we want to structure it. So I'll probably get with y'all next week on some of this. Let me stop the recording right here, and then we can talk some more. Thank y'all for joining me on this recording.